It's time for Six Figure Trucking Period 27. Let's take a look at my compensation as a W-2 company driver. First, we're going to talk about my logs for the week. I was paid for 1,738 dispatched miles. I had 1,554 logged miles. My utilization this week was 57%. The days in green, I was on home time. Now it's time for my unedited pay statement for period 27 of 2024. This includes all trips from June 23rd to June 29th. The first trip this week started in Richmond, Indiana, and ended at Greer, South Carolina terminal. It paid $409 for 477 miles. The second trip this week started at the Greer, South Carolina terminal and ended at the Fort Recovery, Ohio terminal. It had stops at Spartanburg, South Carolina, Monroe, Ohio, Troy, Ohio, and Salina, Ohio. It paid $422 for 603 miles. The third trip this week started at the Fort Recovery, Ohio terminal and ended at my home in Shadydale, Georgia. It paid $416 for 658 miles. This week, I was also paid for the $300 insurance cash out. This is paid monthly to those who do not use the company health care insurance plan. Empty miles paid $50. The insurance cash out paid $300. I was paid $100 for a 34-hour reset. Loaded miles paid $1,027, and stops paid $70. Total earnings for this week was $1,547. We keep hearing that across the industry, drivers are getting less miles and making less money. I'm one that believes in hard numbers rather than anecdotal information. Here's a comparison of my miles and compensation for the last few years. This looks at the comparison through week 27 of each year. 27 weeks into the year, my gross income is $55,419, and I've driven 71,487 miles. This averages out to $2,053 per week and 2,647 miles per week. Estimating that out over a year, I'm on track to earn $106,733, 137,679 miles. Through week 27 of 2024, I have been loaded 91% of the miles, and 12% have been hazmat placard miles. This is a map of the miles per state year-to-date in which I've driven. This week, no new states were added to the map. Here's the home time that I've taken for this payroll year. I've been on home 11 times so far this year, totaling 37 days through the end of pay period 27. I've also had 14 paid 34-hour resets on the road. For the week, my gross pay was $1,547 for 35 hours of work. If we break that down to a typical hourly job, it would be 35 regular hours and 0 hours of overtime, resulting in an effective pay rate of $44.14 per hour. Year to date, I've earned $55,419 for 1,443 hours worked. Out of those hours, 1,063 would be regular time and 381 would be overtime. If we calculate it weekly with overtime, the effective pay rate is about $33.92 per hour. However, as straight time, it's approximately $38.39 per hour. Taking a look at the if-only truck drivers were paid for every hour in the truck calculation page, 27 weeks have went by so far. That totals 4,536 hours. I have been at home for 888 of those hours. That works out to 3,648 hours from the pre-trip leaving home to the post-trip returning home. My compensation through week 27 is $55,419. That works out to $15.19 per hour away from home. As always, make sure you're enjoying every day at work.